All right, Algebra 2 students, this is a video for example 3 for section 2.6. We're going to identify the number of real number solutions. How can we determine the number and types of roots? Here's an equation, a quadratic equation that goes through the x-axis twice, so it has two roots. Here's an equation that touches it right at the vertex, so it has one root, one real root. And here's one that doesn't touch the x-axis at all, therefore it has two imaginary roots because it never crosses it has no real roots. And they go ahead and solve for those roots, and I think we'll see down here somewhere. Here we have two solutions. Here we have one solution, and here we have no real solutions, but they are two imaginary roots. All right. They mentioned it, but I didn't touch upon it, so I'm going to touch upon it here. Turns out to decide if it has two real roots, one real root, or only imaginary roots, you only have to look at the discriminant. The discriminant of the quadratic equation is the part that's underneath the square root, the b squared minus 4ac. So if you're asked how many real roots does the quadratic equation have, you only have to calculate the b squared minus 4ac part. Okay, it's called it's the part under the radicand, is the value of the radicand. Oh, the radicand. So the value b squared minus 4ac is the radicand. It doesn't matter that you know the terms or not. Turns out, if b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, it's going to have two real roots. If it turns out that b squared minus 4ac is exactly 0, it has one real root. The blue curve comes and touches once. And it turns out, if you end up with a negative in the square root, b squared minus 4ac, if that ends up being negative, then you're going to have two non-real roots. Okay? So that's what we're going to apply. Looks like they jump right into doing two problems. Let me change to this screen so that way you can see what you need to do. Go ahead and click pause, give it a shot, and then come back. Okay, all we need to do is find b squared minus 4ac. B squared, that's b, so b squared, 64, minus 4ac, a is 16, 4 times 16 is 64, times a, which is, times c, which is 1. So if you don't mind, 4 times 16 times 1 is 64. This is one that's coming out to 0. And if it comes out to 0, this has one real root. Let's see if I was right. 1. I should write it out longhand, but there's one real solution. Yep. All right. Give this one a shot. Click pause and come on back. B squared. B is -5. -5 squared is 25. Minus 4. I probably should write it out. Minus 4 times a. Be careful of any negatives. Times c. I didn't have any negatives, so that's good. So I'm going to have 25 minus 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 6 is 48. There's only one negative, so it's a minus 48. This is coming out negative. Negative 23. So since it's negative, I know there's two non-real roots. And I believe that's all we really had to do in this section, is just identify what type of roots by using the discriminant, it's called. All right, let's see what problems your teachers can assign. 11, 22, 23, 24, 25, 37, 14. That's it for this video. Have a great day.